Hey guys, AJ here, back with another one for you. So guys, we're going to do another installment of the Women Be Ignored in the Workplace series. Yes, this is by far my most popular series, and I appreciate you guys' support. And guys, I also want to say thank you for all of you who share your stories of how you're dealing with this M2 foolishness in your workplace. It really, really, really helps, guys. I personally know young guys that watch my videos and read you guys' stories, right? And it really helps them to understand what's going on out here, okay? So guys, I'm going to leave the links to all the videos of the previous ones I made. That'll be in the description box and then pinned to the top of the comments. Check out the playlist, guys. And let's just jump into this segment here. This is a woman who's a former editor of a magazine is going to be telling this guy here how she believes the whole M2 thing is a disaster for men and women. So we're going to jump into this, guys. But before we do, please remember to like, subscribe, drop a comment. It helps keep this channel going. Hit the notification bell and check the community tab for the lives. Let's get into this, guys.
Corinne Barraclough is a writer and former award-winning editor of Celebrity Magazine, New Weekly. She's also a regular contributor to The Spectator Australia. Has been covering the Me Too movement from the beginning. She joins me now. Corinne, thanks so much for your time. What did you make of Spicer's excuse that she expected the ABC to keep secret the names and information that these women had actually expected Spicer herself to keep secret?
Oh, honestly.
So guys, this Spicer woman did an M2 documentary, and she got all these testimonials from women, and then she was said that, oh, here, I'll present your stories anonymously. But she didn't. She actually put the women's names and their pictures in her documentary. It's crazy. So that caused a whole lot of controversy.
In short, it's not good enough, is it? You know, these women, as far as I understand it, having read very carefully through everything today, these women contacted Tracy Spicer directly. They direct messaged her. So that was private messages. One of those included a 59-year-old woman who'd been gang raped, whose name was clearly on screen. And when she was approached for comment in relation to this story, she said, "This is the first I've heard about the documentary." And that, Andrew, seems to me to be the real crux of the issue here. It's one thing that these women entrusted their personal stories to Tracy Spicer, but it doesn't sound to me from those words that these women were then told anything about the documentary, let alone permission to be included, let alone being named, let alone having their photograph included. It seems to me incredibly unprofessional. It seems incredibly unethical. Where's the duty of care here? You know, you've got a question mark here, I think, over Tracy Spicer doing the right thing, let alone common courtesy to the people who've entrusted her. It's a huge betrayal of trust, I think. You know, these women have trusted her with incredibly sensitive personal stories, and it doesn't sound like the right thing has been done by them.
And of course not, guys. Because just like BLM and a lot of these, there's people that are trying to make money off of tragedies. Now, in this case, there's women who have bad things happen to them. And it sounds like this knucklehead, Tracy Spicer, who was making this documentary, decided to sensationalize it as much as possible to make money, so her documentary, and she probably wrote a book, would sell better, right? Clown world.
And then you've also got the other side of this, which is obviously the ABC, our lovely friends at the ABC, who've been forced now to issue their second apology within a week. You know, last week we had the Q&A fiasco, and then today we've got this. It's one domino after another, isn't it?
Well, it seems the women are being used a little bit as fodder in a wider war rather than as people. Well, it seems to me it may be totally unfair to Tracy Spicer. I'm sure it's got heart in the right spot. But what does all this tell you? What does this suggest to you about the Me Too movement? You know, has the Me Too movement done more harm than good at the moment, at least here?
No, I think it was destructive from the very beginning, really.
Boom. What does this remind you of, guys? Just like the BLM stuff and all of that, right? It wasn't made to be productive. It wasn't made to help, right? It was all an agenda. That's all it was. And this woman here is saying that this Tracy Spicer person, whatever her name is, and all these other people doing this M2 stuff, all it is them trying to profit. All it is them using tragedy, just like how BLM used, Floyd and all these people, all these tragedies. These M2 people are using these women that actually have been abused as political tools. That's all it is.
Really, because it's not based on truth. Men aren't all evil perpetrators. We've got to remember that at the very heart of the Me Too movement sits feminist theory that men are evil perpetrators
Facts.
and women are innocent victims. And the Me Too is just another version of that playing out, basically. It was never based on truth. It's incredibly divisive. It's very destructive.
Guys, I couldn't have put it much better myself.
And I think ultimately it's been a disaster for men and women. You know, the Australian reported very recently, it was a study from the University of Houston which showed that the Me Too backlash has basically costing women opportunities in the workplace. So please tell me how that is a good thing.
Corinne Barraclough, well said. I think we'll need to have you back on the show to explore some of these issues a bit further. Thank you so much indeed for your time.
Thanks for having me.
See? Nice and simple, guys. This M2 thing has been a disaster, right? And they always say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I honestly believe that there's some small group of people, guys, small, that honestly had good intentions when they were trying to do this stupidity, right? But then there's that group of people that are also very, very, very naive, and they don't think that groups like women are capable of taking advantage of all of this and just trying to get back at men. This is not a movement of fairness, guys. It's a movement of revenge. It's saying every single man on this planet has wronged me, so I'm going to use whatever power that I can wrest from somewhere to get back at every single man I see. And that's the core, the crux of this M2 thing, just like this woman said. So, all right, you guys, this is AJ. I appreciate you guys. Let me know what you think. Do you think this lady's right? I think she is. Right? Are you surprised that someone would make a documentary and basically screw over and like dox all the women in the documentary? I'm not, because it's happened with BLM and all this other stuff. So, all right, you guys, I appreciate you. I'm out of here. Have a good one, guys.